Hello, good morning everyone. I am Veena Parihar, working as Assistant Professor Vivekananda Global University in CSE department. Today our subject is Object Oriented Programming using C++. I think we have covered all the topics initial to it. We are going to cover today's topic is loops. Right, we are going to talk about the loops. What are the loops in C++ programming? I think in every programming we have some basic constructs like how to declare variables, how we can declare functions, how we can apply the conditions, and how we can apply the repetition work. The loops are basically used for the repetition. Like in programming, whenever we want to do some repetitive work, for that purpose we use loops. Right, suppose consider a scenario we are going to print a simple text, we can say like we want to print a hello word. Right, if I want to print a single hello, I can write yes cout and in double quotes that is hello. Okay, now suppose you want to print that particular hello 10 times. Okay, 10 is also a single number. Yes, we can write 10 cout statements. Okay, now I'm saying we are going to print hello word 100 times, or we can say 1000 times. This is not feasible to write that particular cout statement 100 or 1000 times. This type of there can be many tasks like this where we want to use repetitions. So for that purpose we use loops. What we do in loops, we just put a condition where we want to stop that particular loop, and by using that condition we can terminate that loop. In that particular loop we will apply that particular command which we want to execute multiple times. Right, so this was the concept of loops. Now we will see how we can use the loops in C++. Okay, so in C++ we have basically three types of loops. The first one is for loop, the second one is while loop, and the third one is do while loop. Right, so we have these three types of loops here. Now next we will see what are the syntax for these loops. Okay, how we are going to use that particular loops. So first, if we see for loop, we use this structure. We will write here for. This for is the keyword. Keyword, I think we are understanding what is keyword. Keyword are just the reserved words in each and every programming language which we can't use for the another purpose. Right, we can't use them for identifier purpose. Okay, so for is keyword, you have to write it as it is. Next, there are three things we can write here. We will separate them by semicolons. Okay, so what's the first part? First part is called initialization. Okay, so first part is initialization, and second part is called condition, and the third part is called increment or decrement. According to our condition, what we want to do, increment or decrement. So this is the structure of for loop. Then this is the block of for loop. Whatever we want to repeat, we will write in this particular block. So whatever the statements are there, like if you want to use want to print some text, like we have taken example of hello, so we will write here like this, and whatever the times we have given here condition, that for that particular repetition the cout and the hello text will be print. Okay, then I have written here initialization, then condition, and then increment and decrement. So what are these things? So we will take an example. Okay, so now we will take an example. Suppose we want to print a hello word 10 times. Okay, so first, what is the first part of for loop? Initialization. So we are taking here an integer variable, that is I. We are starting it with 1. Second is our condition. So what's our condition is going to be? We are going to repeat this particular loop for 10 times. So we have written here I should be less than equal to 10. And next, the increment and decrement part. So what will be done here? Increment or decrement? So see, we have started here I is equal to 1. So and we are checking I should be less than equal to 10. So we are going to 10 from the 1. That is here is going to be incremented, right? So we will write here I plus plus. We are increasing the I 1 by 1. Fine. Now what will be written in loop body? So we are just printing hello. So we will write here cout hello, and this is done. Okay, so how this loop will be executed? First we will start with this initialization part. So I will be initialized with 1. Then it will be checked if I is less than 10 or not. Yes, 1 is 10, 1 is less than 10, correct? So now we will enter in the loop body because this condition is true. So here this statement will be executed and hello will be printed on your output screen. Okay, now next again when this loop will be executing, so this particular statement will execute it. So I plus plus means there here the value of I will be incremented by 1. So now the value of I will be what? That is 2. Now again this condition will be checked, that 2 should be less than or equal to 10. Yes, correct. Then again you will enter in this loop and one hello word will be printed. So just like that this loop will be executed till I is equal to 10. Whenever your value of I will be going to 11, then this condition will be checked that 11 is less than equal to 10 or not. So this condition will be false. So since the condition is false, it will not enter in this particular loop and loop will be terminated and your control will be will come here and the next statements will be executed. So like this for loop works. Now next we will see how while loop works. Okay, so now we will see the syntax of while loop. So you will write while, this is the keyword, and you put here a condition. Okay, and this is the loop body. You can write anything here and that will be executed multiple times according to this particular condition. Fine. Now the third loop, that is do while, we can see here syntax of this also, and then we will see the differences between these three loops. Okay, so for do while loop you will simply write do, this is a keyword, then this is the loop body. Okay, then at last you will put a while statement and there you will put a condition and here you will end it with a semicolon. Okay, so since now we have seen the syntax of all three loops, now there is one thing we have said that loops just do the repetition work. Fine. So can't we use here only one loop? Why three loops are there? Right, we have seen that in all three loops we put a condition on based on that particular condition your loops will run and terminate, right? So what are the differences between these three loops? This is, I think, important thing to understand, right? So first we have seen the for loop. So for loop we can use in that particular conditions where we can say where our conditions are predetermined or predefined, like we have seen in the previous example that I should be less than equal to 10. Okay, so we have mentioned there that particular predefined condition. Okay, so where our conditions are predefined, predetermined, in that condition we use for loops. Okay, next we come to while loop. When we use while loop, so while loop can be used in those scenarios where our conditions are not fixed. Okay, you can say that our condition will come from an expression. Okay, so in that particular conditions or scenarios you can use while loop where your conditions are not predetermined. Fine. Now the third one is do while loop. Here is also while word. Okay, so why we are using this particular loop? Now do while and while have one basic difference, that there can be some scenarios where you want to run your loop at least one time. Okay, see what this while loop do. We put some condition here. Suppose in the first suppose in very first condition, if this conditions remains false, then this loop body will not be executed. Okay, even a single time. Fine. So if we use do while loop, your loop body will be executed at least once, even if your condition is false. Fine. So there can be many scenarios like this. So where you want to execute your loop even at least for a single time, you will use this particular do while loop. Okay, and otherwise you can use a while loop. Okay, so there can be many programs which can be solved using your for loop also and using your while loop also. There can be such situation where you can use only while loops because your conditions are not predetermined. So this was the basic we can say basic introduction to your loops. Now we are going to discuss, like we have discussed some easiest example of for loop. Now we are going to discuss one example of while loop. Fine. So we are going to discuss a program of sum of digits. Okay, so just take an example. This is the object of our program. Suppose here is a number. We have taken a variable num, that is an integer variable, and suppose we have a number 286. Now the objective of our program is to perform the sum of digits. Okay, so sum of digits will be what? 2 plus 8 plus 6. Okay, and whatever will be the result, that will be returned to you on the output screen. Now the condition is number can be of any digits, like number can be of 2 digits, can be of 1 digits, can be of 3 digits, can be of 4 or 5, any, like any. Okay, user can give you any kind of number and you have to perform the sum of all the digits. Okay, now why I have taken this example, so I can give you an example of the difference of for and while loop. Okay, now here you don't know that what is your predetermined condition of the loop, whatever what you are going to place in that while that condition in the while loop. Okay, because you don't know your while loop will run what times. Okay, like you can have 2 digits, you can have 3 digits, you can have even 10 digits. Okay, so that will be known only when a user will give you the number. Fine. So we will take here the example. So what is the logic behind that? Whatever the number you will get from the user, you will do what? You will extract the digits and you will add one by one. Fine. So what we will do to extract the digits? So we can use the logic here that if we divide any number by 10, then what will be the remainder? Remainder will be the last digits. Fine. So we just declare some variables here, like we have number variable. I'm not writing a full-fledged program, okay? I'm writing only the logic of the program. Fine. So we are going to use here, like we are using here the remainder and the sum. Okay. So we have, and we are initializing the sum variable by 0. We will discuss it later. Fine. So first what we are going to calculate, the remainder. So what we do, remainder is equal to, this number is stored in number variable, so we will write here num mod 10. So by using this you will get a remainder, and that will be stored in this rem, that is remainder variable. Fine. Next what we will do, we are going to perform a sum. So we will write here sum is equal to sum plus, what we will add in that is remainder, because remainder is what, we are extracting the digits from our number. Okay. Now this is the one thing, like suppose we are executing these statements using this example. Okay. So what we will get, remainder will be what, if we divide 286 by 10, then what will be the remainder, 6. Fine. And if we see this statement, sum is equal to sum plus remainder. Now what's the initial value of sum? That's why we have initialized sum is equal to 0. Okay, because initially you don't have anything in your sum variable. So what will be there, sum is equal to, sum has 0 value and remainder has 6 value. Fine. So the value of sum is 6. Now next time what we want as remainder, 28, means we have to divide 28 by 10, right? So how we will manage this, what we can do, we can write here number is equal to number upon 10. If we evaluate this expression, what we will get the value of number if we divide 286 by 10. Okay, so what will be the result? Result will be 28. Okay. So in next repetition what we will do, we will take the remainder from 28. We will divide 28 by 10 and we will extract the remainder from that, right? So means again we have to execute this particular statement, correct? Again we have to execute these 3 statements. Fine. So what will we get? We will get 8 as a remainder. So this statement again will be executed. Now the value of sum is what? 6. So now the sum will be 6 plus 8. Okay. And you will get 14. Okay. So how many times you will execute these 3 statements again and again? Okay. Can you imagine how many times we are going to execute these statements? Till when the number is not equal to 0. करेक्ट भाई, जब तक इस नंबर की वैल्यू 0 नहीं हो जाएगी, till that time we have to repeat these 3 statements. Correct. So what we can do here, we can put here a while loop, and in condition what we will give, while number is not equal to 0, till then we have to execute these 3 statements. I think the logic is clear to you people, right? So this is the example of the while loop. Now we can see a short example of do while loop also. So what can be the situation where you want to use do while loop? Okay. Generally we use this in menu driven programs. Menu driven program can be what? Example can be like the program where user have to choose something. Like I think you have seen some situation like we can explain it like you have listened to IVR. Okay, what she says, press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this, right? You are given choices to do something, right? So in that particular scenario you can use do while loop. Okay. For example, if I have written do, we have already discussed the syntax. Okay, so we have started this do loop. We have written here um, press 1. I'm taking example of arithmetic operations, right? Press 1 for addition. Okay, just like that. Press 2 for subtraction. There can be many conditions like that. Okay, press 2 for subtraction. There can be two more statements for this. Press 3 for division, press 4 for multiplication. Okay, these kind of message should be there. And there can be one message also, press 0 for quit. Okay, so we have designed these three statements. Press 0 for quit. Now what we are doing, you are taking a choice input. Okay, so see out, what you will write, enter your choice. Enter your choice, and you are taking that particular choice in a variable. We can declare here, suppose int ch. Okay, so what you will write, cin and ch. Okay, now you have taken here the input as ch. Okay, so I am putting here a condition while, like, where I want to like quit this particular loop, I have to put some condition here, right? So in while, I am writing that while ch is not equal to 0, till that time this loop should be repeated. Fine. Now here is what this kind of condition ki हमें इस loop को at least one बार execute करना है. Okay, so you can see here, whenever you will run this program, you will get these messages on your output window. Okay, so if you are not able to see these kind of message on the window, how you will enter your choice? Okay, so at least one time you have to you are needed to execute this loop. Okay, so in do while, the condition will be checked in the last. Okay, so these statements are shown to you on the output window. You will enter your choice according to you. If you press 1, the addition will be performed. I'm not writing that particular code because that's not our aim. Okay, so suppose you have entered choice 1, so according to that, a task will be performed. That task has been performed. Again this loop will be executed. You will be asked again, please enter your choice. Just you can understand this do while loop by taking the example of your IVR. You make a call in the call center, and that IVR gives you option. Okay, suppose you have pressed 1 and you have taken the knowledge of that particular first option, then again that IVR asks you for the choice in case you want to know the other options. Fine, so do while loop works like that only. Fine, suppose next time you have been asked for the choice, you have entered 2. Okay, then the second task will be performed. Now suppose you have pressed 0. Okay, then what will be there, this while condition will be checked while ch is not equal to 0. Okay, so 1 was not equal to 0, so that was that is run. 2 is not equal to 0, again this is true, so this loop will be executed. Now 0 is not equal to 0, is it true or false? Obviously false, 0 is equal to 0. So this condition has been being false here, so this loop will be terminated. Okay, so I think all the concept of these three loops has been cleared to you. So I'm ending today's lecture here. Thank you so much.